Well, hello. Here I am from the next section. I'm going to be giving tips on riding the Southwest Chief. I have ridden the Southwest Chief. I did that last year. I rode the Southwest Chief from Chicago to LA. This is a Chicago to LA train. I did it round trip. So it's a very nice ride. It's a very friendly ride. Of the 3 long-distance trains that I'm going to be giving tips for, the California Zephyr, the Empire Builder, and the Southwest Chief, I found this to be the friendliest one. I don't know why, but I don't know why I felt that way, but I made a lot of friends, personal friends. I rode coach. I personally rode coach. So, first question. I'm going one way. I went both ways. I'm going one way. Which way should I go? East to west, west to east? It's true of all the long distance trains. If you want to see a lot of scenery first, go west to east. If you don't mind a lot of cornfields and just chilling out, basically just chilling out in the beginning, go east to west. It's a nice ride in the desert. You don't see anything for a long time. I know Kansas, to me, Kansas lasted forever. That is the biggest state I've ever been through. I went to bed in Kansas, woke up in Kansas, had lunch in Kansas. I'm thinking, are we ever going to get, are we ever felt kind of like Dorothy in the Wizard of Oz? You know, we're not in Kansas. Yeah, we kind of stayed in Kansas. Beautiful country, though. It's all beautiful country. But if you want to see, a lot of people want to see the mountains, want to see the desert, want to see whatever, go west to east if that's what you want to see first. Good place to get off. East to west, good place to get off is Flagstaff, Arizona. That's what I did for 4 days. That's a nice town. It's in the mountains. It's in part of the desert. You can take. It's close to Sedona, and it's close to the Grand Canyon, and a lot of other places in between. There's a shuttle service there that doesn't cost that much, so you don't have to have a car. There is a lot to see in Flagstaff. I did not realize until I was there that all the astronauts who have been to the moon trained there in Flagstaff. So it's a nice, beautiful, friendly town. So you can take the shuttle. It leaves out of the train station. I think it goes several times a day. I took it to the Grand Canyon, didn't stay long enough to go to Sedona, which is what I really wanted to do. So if you're not going all the way east towards west, I would get off in Flagstaff. I didn't find a whole lot interesting personally from Flagstaff to LA. I did not find LA to be particularly interesting, particularly the train station. I don't know why. It's just personal preference. If you do go all the way to LA, please take an extra day and take the Pacific Surfliner down to San Diego. Now, I did love San Diego. Pacific Surfliner goes all the way down the Pacific Ocean, and it's beautiful. It doesn't cost much extra to do. Take that down there. Spend the night in San Diego. San Diego's beautiful. Come back. That's what I did. Now, question number 2. You ride coach or sleeper? Either way is fine on this. It's not that long a train. I took coach. I'm glad I took coach because I met, as I said, it was a very friendly train. I met a lot of people. Had people to talk to, even though I traveled solo. I had a lot of people to talk to. And I will say that there are a lot of locals on this train, where some of the trains, there's a lot of tourists. During tourist season, you find more tourists than maybe locals take it. A lot of locals will take this train. A lot of people I found out on the train I was on, going and coming, a lot of people hadn't been on trains much, didn't have much experience. I know we had a toddler who cried, screamed. He squealed the whole time. He hadn't been on a train before, so they put him on a 2-day train. They did not bring any toys for him except his electronics. Oh, that's another thing. This train, a lot of times your Wi-Fi, your electronics are not going to work. Bring something to do. Bring a puzzle. Look out the window. If you got children, please bring something non-electronic for them. You have a better ride. Your neighbors will have a better ride, or get a bedroom and stay in the bedroom most of the time with your family. Not saying to ostracize you, I'm just saying trying to make it happy for everybody, but please bring something for them to do, particularly if you have children, because there will be a lot of dead areas, dead zones for Wi-Fi on this train. So it doesn't matter which one you take. It's going to be fine. For the views, again, go to the lounge car. I recommend lounge car. For any train that has a lounge car, that's where the views are. You can see both sides. You're not going to see, I don't think there's a train where you're going to have total views one side or the other 100% of the trip. And I know people that think that and they're disappointed. Get up and go to the lounge car, and when the views change from side to side, you can just switch your chair around, you can switch your body around and look. The meals there are not as great as the meals on some of the other trains I've been on. And the food was good, but the service and the opportunity, the options weren't. I know I asked for, even though I rode coach, I always go in the dining room some of the meals. I went in and had dinner, and I expected to have dessert. I was hungry for dessert. So nobody offered me any dessert. Nobody brought me any dessert. So I asked the wait staff, I asked for dessert, and she laughed and she said, "Well, we don't have any for you. Just take a plate as a souvenir." Which I thought was an interesting response to tell me to take a plate as a souvenir. I actually have a set of dishes. They recycle these. They don't reuse them. I have a set of dishes from another train trip. But I thought that was an interesting response. So you may or may not get your salad, your main course, and your dessert. You get your main course, but I did not get a dessert even after I asked for it. But and I was disappointed because I was in the mood. I was really in the mood for some. And so that's basically what I have. And I will say that this train seems to be slower than some of the other trains. They do take their time climbing when they're going to I think that's why we went slower. Seemed like the train was going slow and slower than some of the other trains I've been on. But I think it does that when it's climbing and for altitude purposes. And so now that I understand that, I don't mind so much. So it is a good trip. It is a good way to see the desert. I would definitely get off in Flagstaff. I would definitely, if you're only going to go one way, I would still say if you're only going to go one way, do what I did. I went from Chicago to Flagstaff, stayed 4 days in Flagstaff. Then I went to LA, did not stay over in LA, went straight to San Diego and came back. And I rode straight through coming on back after I got to LA. But it is a great train, great ride. And if you have any questions that I didn't cover, I'm sure there are plenty of individual ones. Post them in the comments section below. And happy trails.